Probably one of the most underrated nodes in Fusion is the humble fast noise. But in reality, it's not only incredibly useful but also very, very versatile for a multitude of different applications. So today we're going to not only look at the interface and the different options available, but also a few different creative applications for this node. I've left a link in the description to the assets that I'm using, so grab those and let's get started. So let's start off with the basics. What is fast noise and what's it used for? The fast noise node is a very fast and flexible Perlin noise generator, most commonly used to create fog or cloud effects, but can also create a wide variety of other textures, as well as being used as a dynamic mask or as a noise source for other effects such as heat shimmers and particle systems. In a nutshell, it's incredibly flexible. Let's have a look in the inspector and dive into some of the controls so you can see what some of the possibilities are for this tool. So in the first tab, the noise tab, we have controls for the shape and pattern of the noise, as well as settings to help us create motion. So these top few here are fairly self-explanatory. The center XY of course being for position of the noise, and then you can increase the detail and the contrast, etc. Then you've also got a control for the scale, and you can unlock the X and Y coordinates of this and adjust those separately, which gives you some very interesting results. Next you've got the angle of the noise, and then we have the seethe controls. Now the seethe control can help us create flowing or drifting motion in the noise, which you can animate with keyframes. And then the seethe rate controls the speed of the seethe animation, which you can use independently of the seethe control and does not require keyframes. If I turn it up, the noise will begin to move, and the speed increases the more that you turn it up. Below that we've got two little checkboxes. The inverted one is fairly obvious what that does, and with the discontinuous checkbox, normally the noise function interpolates between values to create a smooth continuous gradient. When you enable this checkbox, you create hard discontinuity lines along some of the noise contours, and this of course changes depending on what the other settings are. So if, for example, I take the detail right down, it's really quite a dramatic difference when you turn discontinuous on. So let's jump into the colour panel now and see what's going on in there. So you can change the two different colours, obviously, and create some interesting effects in that way. But it starts to get really interesting when you look in the gradient type. So in here we've got different types of gradient in this drop down menu, and then what you can also do is add extra colours to the gradient. All you have to do is hover over this little gradient panel and you'll see a plus appear next to your cursor, and then if you just click there it adds extra colour points. And the way that you change the colours here is you click on a triangle and then click in the colour box, and you can adjust the colour to whatever you want. So you can see with these we can get really creative and make some really interesting textures. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples of how we can actually use this. So the first one that we're going to do is a basic kind of foggy mist effect over this footage that we've got here of the London skyline. You can grab this footage from the free download in the description if you want to follow along. So we've already got media in with our footage, a merge node and a media out, and then we're just going to grab a fast noise and pop that into the green input on the merge node there, and that adds our fast noise over the top. Let's just have a quick look in the inspector, and what we're going to do is we're going to just bring the detail up a little bit and bring the contrast down a little bit, also the brightness down a little bit like that. We can increase the scale and then just add a little bit on the seethe rate so that we get a little bit of movement in there. So if I play that, that's looking like this. Then what we want to do is we want to control where over the top of the footage this is going to sit. So we'll just grab a mask in here, a little rectangle mask, and just pop that into the blue mask input of the fast noise. So now that's just contained that fast noise within the mask there for us. So we'll just grab the size of that and resize it and bring this down to the bottom here, and then we'll just increase the softness of the edge like this. Bring that down here. Now one thing you can also do as well is you can come into this merge one here and adjust the blend on that, and that's a bit like adjusting the opacity on the effect, so you can get it to sit exactly how you want over the top of the image. And then finally we'll just add a little bit of animation to that. So we'll come into the fast noise again and we'll go to the beginning, put a keyframe on the center XY, and then go to the end and just drag the X just a little bit to the right like that, and then that'll just make the fog drift across the bottom of the screen there. So we're just going to chuck a background and a merge on here, and we're going to make the background like a dark grey, something like that. Then what I want to do is I basically want to make some text that has a shadow on the inside edge. What we're going to do is grab our text plus, and then we'll have another merge and a shadow, and then we're also going to grab a bitmap. Then what we're going to do is we're going to output the text to all three of these, and then we're going to hook these up in a very specific way. So the output of the bitmap is going to go into the blue mask of the shadow, and then the output of the shadow is going to go into the green input of the merge, and then finally the output of the merge is going to go into that merge just below it. Cool, so let's just set up our text. Let's size that up, bring the line spacing in a little bit, and also adjust the tracking a tiny bit as well. Okay, that's looking good. Then what I'm going to do is just change the color of that one. I've already got some colors set up in here. If you want to use exactly the same colors, this first orange is BC6C14. That's the hex code. Then we'll set up the merge, and all you need to change in here is just change the operator to a top. Then we'll come into the shadow and we'll change the Y offset to 0.495. We'll change the softness to 0.013. The color, we're going to make this yellow color, which is EDC 505. And then the crucial last step is to change the output from image with shadow to shadow only, which creates this subtle little orange shadow on the inside edge there. If I was to decrease this Y value, you'll see even more. Okay, so now we've got a text set up. Let's set up our fast noise so that we can use it as a mask. We'll pop a fast noise in here, and then I'll just open a second viewer. If you just click this button at the bottom here, that will input this fast noise into the second viewer. Okay, so let's set that up then. So in the noise tab, we want the detail all the way up to 10, the contrast to 5, brightness 1, and then we're going to uncheck the lock X and Y and take the X value all the way up to 100 and the Y value down to 0. Then we're just going to adjust the seed rate to 0.35, and I'm also going to change the angle so it's just a slight diagonal. And then we're going to go into the color tab, go to gradient and change the gradient type to linear. Then we're going to click on this little triangle and have the first color as white, and then click on the second triangle, and we want to make that one transparent. So the way that you do that is grab this and bring it down to black, and then just pull the alpha down like that. So if we hook that up now to the mask input of the text. Oh, one last thing that I've forgotten actually. We're just going to bring in the handles here on the gradient. This just adjusts the size of the transition between white and transparent like that. So we can make that really quite small like that. So then what we want to do is we come to the beginning and we'll take this offset, grab the offset and just shift it all the way to the left and pop a keyframe. Then come into the middle and shift that offset all the way to the right, and you can see what's happening there. Cool. So then what we end up with, if we play that, is this really nice little text reveal. Cool. And obviously you can set this fast noise up in all different ways. so that it reveals things in different ways as well. Okay, let's move on to our last example now, where we're going to create some fire. So I've just got this little JPEG of a log here. We're going to use that as our background. Then we'll select the media in and just pop a couple of merge nodes in there. And then we'll grab our fast noise so we can start creating our flame effect. So output into the green, input of the merge there, and then in the noise tab we want the detail to be 2.36, the contrast to be 0.95, brightness minus 0.12. Then we're going to uncheck the X and Y, and we're going to take the X value up to 22.7 and then the Y value up to 5. And we're going to make the seethe rate 0.68. We're also going to check discontinuous to give us these harder edges, and then we're going to hop over into the color tab. We'll select the gradient, and for this one we're going to use the radial gradient type, and we're going to add an extra 2 color points. So starting with the first colour, that one is going to be a really pale yellow colour. The value of that is E95C0E. Next one is going to be a yellow colour, which is E3CF2E. This one is going to be an orange colour, which is E95COE. And then the last one we're going to have transparent. So we'll bring this down to black and then bring the alpha down like that. So let's bring these handles in a little bit to bring the size down. Something like that should be good. And then I'm actually going to use the merge. If I select that, I'm going to use that to position this round about there. I just want the middle of this, sort of where the top of the log is there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an ellipse mask and pop that into the fast noise, invert it, and then I'm just going to drag it out a bit so it's more of a sort of oval shape, and just give it a little tilt like this. I just want to basically try and place the flames on top of the log, if you like. So let's bring this soft edge up just a little bit, and then let's also just add some smoke in here as well. So we'll add another fast noise and pop that into this first merge. We're also going to add a rectangle into the mask of that. Then we'll reshape this a little bit, soft edge again, and then we'll come into the fast noise controls and just set that up. So for this one we'll bring the detail all the way up, contrast to something like 2.14, brightness fine. We'll bring the scale up a little bit, something like that, and then just set the seethe rate, and that can just be 0.3. That should be fine, and that just creates a little bit of smoke there in the background. Obviously you can keep going with this and you can do some quite advanced things actually to really kind of bring this fire to life. Add in, you know, like particle emitters so that you've got the sparks coming off the flames and stuff like this. But that should hopefully just demonstrate what's possible just with really just a handful of nodes and some very simple controls. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.